To download and install UiPath, I'm going to the UiPath.com website. Here in the upper right corner of the screen, I see the button to try UiPath free. So I'll click that. From here, I see we can start a 60-day trial with the UiPath Automation Cloud. That's right here, this first one. This is not the one we want to click on. Down here it says, are you planning to use UiPath for personal use and non-commercial purposes? That's the one we want. Get Automation Cloud for Community. So I'm going to click that. And that brings us to create an account. So we will have to create an account and be signed in when we use UiPath. I can put in an email and create an account, but I already have my Gmail that I used in the first video where I created that weekly report. So I am going to click on Continue with Google. And now it's asking me if I want to continue with the Michael's Tech Tutorial organization that I've created earlier, or do I want to create a new organization? Since this is your first time visiting here, you probably only have this Create New Organization, or it might even have a pop-up to force you to enter an organization. You can enter in whatever you like, your name, Test 1, Organization 1. It's just a UiPath grouping. I'm going to click on the Michael's Tech Tutorials organization that I've already created. Now I'm logged into cloud.uipath.com. And this is important because we will need to be logged into cloud.uipath.com to run our UiPath bots. From here, I'm going over to the right where it says Download Studio Desktop, and I will click that. The download is started up here, and I'm going to hover over some of these icons here on the left. We have Home, which is where we're at right now. Below that is Orchestrator. Then we've got Studio and Academy. The only ones we're really interested in now are Home, where we're at now, and Orchestrator. I'll click Orchestrator. Orchestrator is used to schedule and run jobs or processes. We're going to take a good look at Orchestrator later on in this tutorial series. For now, we're just going to focus on learning how to run a UiPath bot from our desktop. After we get familiar with that, we will then learn how to schedule and run jobs using Orchestrator. Now I'm in my Downloads folder where I will double-click on UiPath Studio Community.msi. And the installer opens up a pop-up that asks me if I want the quick for community users. I want that. And then I'll need to accept the terms of the license agreement. And when I click I'm agreeing to the licensing agreement, I am telling UiPath that I am agreeing that this version, UiPath Studio Community, is for educational purposes and personal use only. Because we need to be connected to the internet to use UiPath, they will probably have a good idea if you are abusing the license agreement. I'm going to click on Install to continue. And here we need to please wait while the product installs. The installer is asking me to close the Microsoft Edge browser. I have closed that, so I'll click OK. And it's telling me that it still thinks that it's open. Do I want to force close it? Yeah, that's fine. They can force close the Microsoft Edge browser. And now we are done. I can launch UiPath Studio. And the first thing it's doing is asking me to sign in to cloud.uipath.com. Now it's asking me to choose from the list below. Do we want UiPath Studio or UiPath Studio X? We want UiPath Studio, the blue one. And I'll click on it. And it opens a little Welcome to UiPath Studio pop-up, which is a little tutorial of sorts. I'm going to click Do Not Show Again, but you're welcome to leave that open, and then next time you open UiPath Studio, that will pop up again. Another pop-up telling us start here with processes. We are going to do that in this tutorial, so I'm going to close this little pop-up helper. Now, before we start our little Hello World program, I want to mention that there is one more part of UiPath that we need to know about, and that is the UiPath Assistant. It's running now. To see it, we just need to search for it. I will click in the search bar and type in Assistant. It's right here at the top. For now, the only thing we're going to use the UiPath Assistant for is to tell us if we are connected to the internet properly or not. And that is shown in this upper right corner with the green button, Status Connected and Licensed. So we're green and connected. That's good. So I will minimize that. When I open up the Google browser, I get the message UiPath Browser Automation 24.10 was added. I can enable the extension or remove from Chrome. I'm going to use this in a later video, so I will enable the extension. To start a new process, I'm going under New Project, Process, and clicking that. I will call our new process Hello World and put in a description, my first UiPath program. Below that, we see Show Advanced Options. This is the path where it wants to store the new UiPath project that we're doing. I'm going to click this and change that. I'm going to go to this PC and then the C drive. And here I've created a UiPath folder right in the C drive. So it's C UiPath. You can place them wherever you want on your computer. I'm going to select this folder. For the compatibility, I'm going to stay with Windows. And for the language, I'm going to choose VB, which is the default. There's also a C#. I would recommend against using C# unless you have a specific reason for using it, because a majority of the activities are written using VB. And if you are set up as C#, those VB activities will not run properly. I'll click Create. And while it's creating, we have another pop-up to help us, a little tutorial. I'm going to close this one. And not show it later because I don't need to see this one again. Now we're in the UiPath Studio Desktop. And I've increased the scale of the display so that we can see what is in these activities. On the left, we've got our activities, we've got our projects, and our design window that we've mentioned in the previous video. To create our first Hello World bot, I'm going to click on Activities, and then I'm going to search here for the message box activity, and I'm going to drag this into our design area. And inside the message box, I'm going to type Hello World. We're going to put our message inside of double quotes. And when I click outside of this box, the error goes away. Everything looks good. We've got the text that we want to show up in our message box inside of double quotes. Now over here on the right, these are properties. This is our properties window. And different activities will have different properties. We're going to take out the message box here and we go back and we can see all of our activities inside there. To run this program, I'm going to click this play button, but if we click down here, debug file, we can either run the file, debug, or run. We'll go over the difference of these later on. For now, I'm just going to click the basic blue play button, which will debug, but it's going to run the file. UiPath is now running, compiling everything, and it put our message box on the other screen. Here it is, saying Hello World. We'll notice that up here, UiPath is still running. I can break, pause, or stop the program. The other way to stop the program is to click OK in our message box, and the program will come to an end on its own. So we've created and successfully run our first program, the Hello World, and we learned that there are 3 things needed to run a UiPath desktop project. We need to be signed into cloud.uipath.com. That's where Orchestrator is. That's where we're going to schedule our projects later. We need to be connected through UiPath Assistant. This green button will let us know that we are connected and licensed for that. And then the actual UiPath Desktop project. In the next tutorial, we'll continue looking at UiPath Desktop.